Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are back for episode number 23. Yes, I checked. Although now I've said that, I'm not as confident. I'm going to say it's 23. Wait, week 4, next one's 24. Yeah, 25 is All Out, which I'm very excited about. Like, it's on my mind all week. And yeah, we're here. We are in Puerto Rico this time, hence why our crowd number is super low. I figured, you know, we might as well go to Puerto Rico and Hawaii now and then. So yeah, they get this, hopefully, fantastic show. One thing to note about this show, from what you can see here, Taz and Excalibur on commentary have announced that all TNT ladder match contenders are in singles action tonight against each other. So we have 3 singles matches tonight. Obviously there are other matches, but all of those 3 matches are included, or including the TNT people. So that is Takeshita, obviously, Miro, Jack Perry, Bandido, Cedric Alexander, and Zack Sabre Jr. But first, we have our pre-show matches. So let's dive into those. In our opening match, poor pre-show match apparently, Alex Coughlin, the android Alex Coughlin, defeats Matt Hardy in 7:36 by submission. Coughlin with a 51, which is really good. Man's numbers are going up, and Matt Hardy with a 43. Segment Ring got 50, that's fine. Following that, Eddie Kingston, someone we really don't see a lot, just because, like, he's not someone I want to waste. Like, I don't want him to be eating pins, but at the same time, I haven't really got anything from him at the moment. So hopefully, post All Out, because it's effectively like a season 2, we can call it. Hopefully there'll be something for Eddie on the other side. But until now, he's in the pre-show and defeating Mark Davis in some singles action. Wanted to see how Mark Davis does on his own. Eddie Kingston wins this, of course, in 12:26 with a blackout lariat. 61 overall, that's pretty good. And 67 for Eddie Kingston, 58 for Mark Davis, and he benefits from being in amazing form, whatever that means. And then our final pre-show match is some tag team action. So last week, we saw Casey Catanzaro and Yuka Sakazaki face off. Seems like they've grown a bit of respect for each other, because they're teaming up this week against Steph DeLanda and Trish Adora. And in a terrible pre-show match, Casey and Yuka win by pinfall when Casey gets the win with the satellite DDT. Looking at the numbers here, Trish was off her game, which is a little bit sad. She got 30. Steph wasn't off her game and only got a 31. But Casey with a 50, which is nice, and Yuka with a 57, which is even better. Awesome. That is all of our pre-show done. We're diving straight into the opening match, which is one of the TNT matches. This is a non-title match. It's Zack Sabre Jr. facing Konosuke Takeshita. 76, not bad. So in a bout that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Zack Sabre Jr. defeats Takeshita. Wow. In 25 minutes. Whoa. By submission with a Barry from EastEnders. oh, wait, hold on. A Barry from EastEnders. That's the name of one of Zack Sabre Jr.'s moves. Okay, I didn't see that coming. Zack Sabre Jr. with an 81. Wow. And Takeshita with a 75. And Zack and Takeshita have great chemistry. Ooh. We are going to have to fold that up and put that in our back pocket. And it got the show off to a strong start. Lovely. Love to see that. Following this, though, we just have like a small kind of promo video package with Adam Page just kind of reflecting on his AEW career. I mean, he's a AEW original, been here since day one, kind of been through it all. He's been tag champs with Kenny. He was in the Elite, then he was out the Elite, then he dipped back in again. He was world champion for some time. He's had beef with MJF in the past, as well as many other big names. He was once, let's be honest, he was once a member of the Dark Order. Remember that? So yeah, he's just kind of reflecting on all these highlights, and now he's talking about present day, his like desire, or his initial desire to be like a lone ranger, you know, wanted to separate himself from the Elite, wanted to carve out his own name again, but then forging this partnership with Bandido that seems to be quite effective. They seem to be helping each other get better, which has led him, like, I mean, Bandido needs to tip his cowboy hat to Bandido. Because of him, he's now in this situation where in less than a week and a half's time, he could be our new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So yeah, just a nice little package just to, just big up Adam Page, because in all honesty, he's been Mr. Consistent for me since day one. And I remember early in the saves, I was hardly using him because I just didn't know what to do. So then I just started throwing him in random matches because I knew that he could pull out good numbers, and he did. And yeah, I think he's earned this opportunity. So, tipping my cowboy hat to you, Adam Page. Also, I'm thinking of renaming him just Hangman Adam Page, because I do quite like saying that. So I might just change his name. Yeah. Anyways, 95 rating. Mwah. Love that. Let's move on to a special announcement. Yes, you read that right. Kairi is all elite. She has put pen to paper on a full-time contract, not just being loaned every now and then. She is here to stay, and her debut match is up next. But unfortunately, it's against Paige Van Zandt, who has been on one hell of a rampage. So let's see how she does. So in a decent match, 63, nice. In a decent match, Paige Van Zandt defeats Kairi on her debut in 8 minutes. Not even that long of a match. I mean, we can't blame Kairi for this. She came in, guns blazing, but she's against like the beast right now that is Paige Van Zandt, who seems to be on a warpath. She's indestructible right now. I don't know what being friends with Jericho has done to her, but it's made her a weapon. Paige with a 43 and Kairi with a 67, and Chris Jericho doing great work at ringside. So, not to say that she didn't perform well, but maybe this wasn't the debut that she should have had. But anyways, Kairi is here. She's here to stay. Hooray. Going to get some great matches with Kairi. Following this, though, Chris Jericho celebrates with his friend Paige Van Zandt and his other friend, Jake Hager. The reason why they're both out there is because they have a tag team match up next. So they figured, we'll celebrate with Paige and we'll just stay out here for our match, which is now. And in a decent match, Jericho and Hager defeat the Butcher and the Blade. So Jericho and his friends are all winnable tonight. In 8 minutes 17, when Jericho makes the Butcher tap with the Walls of Jericho. 58 overall, not the best. The Butcher getting worse and worse as the weeks go on. The Blade being the best performer, though. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good at all. Jericho has really fallen off. Poor guy. We might have to transition him into a personality-only role, but not yet. He's still got some matches left in him. After this, though, we head back to the TNT Contender Singles match where Jack Perry, good old Jungle Boy Jack Perry, takes on Miro. 78, wow. Awesome. I mean, these numbers are so good, especially in the lead up to All Out. Perfect timing. So in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Miro defeats Jack Perry by making him tap with the Game Over. Miro with a 75, Jack Perry with a 65, and Miro and... Oh, I thought I said Jack Perry for a second. I was going to be like, more chemistry. But it's just Miro and his wife having good chemistry, which, they better fucking do, because they're married. And this match got the crowd hotter as well. 78, great match. Go on, boys. After this, though, we get just a nice little video package with Bryan Danielson, John Moxley, just like recounting the history between them. So going all the way back to the Blackpool Combat Club being formed, the kind of takeover that they had in a way, like they were just crushing everyone week in, week out. And then leading to the Adam Cole feud where they targeted Adam Cole all the way up until Double or Nothing, where Bryan Danielson kind of gained a bit of respect for Cole and Strong. So he showed that respect, being the professional wrestler that he is. And that's when it took a turn. Moxley wasn't a fan of that. Moxley likes to disrespect people. He doesn't think that everyone, just because they wrestle good, deserves respect. It's more to it than that. And this is where they started to kind of clash and not see eye to eye. And then there seemed to be a miscommunication between, who is the leader of the Blackpool Combat Club? Because I think they both thought they were the leaders. And then it led to Moxley attacking Bryan. And this turning into a really heated and sometimes nasty feud. Bryan brought in Zack Sabre Jr., brought him to AEW to help him out, and Moxley somehow convinced Zack Sabre Jr. to join the Combat Club, or the newly named Combat Club. So Bryan, once again, all on his own, Actually, he's not on his own. I've got a little spoiler down here, which is annoying, but Brie Garcia, so Brian Danielson's wife, so, you know, Brie Danielson technically, but she wants to go by Garcia, has been hired. I talked her out of retirement because you can do that in this game. It's pretty cool. And she is in AEW, and she figured, you know, this is one of Brian's biggest matches of his career. You know, it's quite a dangerous match to be in, especially with his opponent and the animosity. So, you know, she's decided, I've got some childcare. I'm going to hang out with Brian. So Brie is all elite as well. Why not? Brie mode! But yeah, just leading all the way up to the Iron Man match that we're going to see at All Out, which is going to be one hell of a doozy. But yeah, 81 rating, awesome. I spent a bit too much time talking about this. I'm going to do a review. I think I said this in the last episode. I'm going to do a review video, kind of a preview, video just before episode 25. So it'll be like an episode 24 and a half, where I'm just going to run through the entire All Out card with you guys and just talk about how we got to this match or these matches. So yeah, that should be a fun little video, and it'll be nice for me to take a kind of a trip down memory lane just to see how we got here. But yeah, let's move on. Following this, we have an announcement. Christian Cage announces, of course, like he does with every event and every Battle of the Belts and every whatever, he will be hosting the FTW World Title Challenge at All Out. Anyone is welcome, as always, and the rules are clear. You beat Luchasaurus, you get a shot at the cage. So that's happening. So that's another match to add to All Out. 69 rated, nice. After this, though, we have our final TNT contender match. So that's Bandido and Cedric Alexander. 69 again, or is the number broken? So in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Bandido gets the win. So it's not just Adam Page who's on hot form. Bandido too, after his win against MJF. Defeated Cedric Alexander in 10 minutes 30 with a Revolution Fly. Bandido with a 71 and Cedric with a 58. Oh, Cedric, catch up. This isn't WWE. But that is not the final segment or match of the night. The House of, well, not the House of Black, sorry. Buddy Matthews isn't here. Neither is Julia Hart, who is, you know, being a mum at the moment on maternity leave. The Kings of the Black Throne have come out to the ring and have called out Los Ingobernables. Malachi Black believes that it's unfortunate that him and Brody King weren't included in the tag team qualification matches because they are the best duo in all of AEW, and they specifically named Andrade and Rush as lucky to be where they are. And Andrade being the very, you know, egotistical man that he is, and Rush as well, very, very egotistical and big-headed. They come out and just say, you know, you say this, why don't you show it instead? So they have decided amongst themselves that they're going to have a tag match right now, and this is what main events our show tonight. The Kings of the Black Throne against Los Ingobernables. Also, this isn't some kind of, you know, if they win, they take their place. Los Ingobernables earn their place, but if anything, this would put the Kings of the Black Throne in a much better position should they win. So let's see how that goes. 74, decent. So in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Los Ingobernables defeat the Kings of the Black Throne. They put them in their place in 26 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh my goodness. Andrade pins Malachi Black as well. You run your mouth, you get pinned, my boy, with a Brillante driver. So Rush had a 69, nice. Andrade with a 72, Brody King with a 64, and Malachi Black with a 67. Not the best numbers, but we still end up with a 74. I'll take that. So yeah, Los Ingobernables, you know, getting a great win leading up to All Out. So that's just another little notch on their belt, especially after Andrade lost to Rey Fenix recently. This will definitely give both of them that momentum that they maybe need in order to succeed in that four-way match. Remember, the four-way match is the Lucha Brothers defending their AEW World Tag Team Championships against Los Ingobernables, FTR, who are a scary opponent. in any case, and the best friends of Chucky T and Trent Beretta. But this does finish our show. Let's see how we did. Is it gonna... There we go. 77. Not bad. Probably, on the lower end of our shows recently, but we got some fun matches out of this, and we learned that these two have great chemistry, so that's always good to know. Kyrie, All Elite. We do have another match confirmed for All Out, or potentially another 2 matches if someone can defeat Luchasaurus. Nice to see all the TNT guys in action, and half of them gaining some much needed momentum heading into All Out, because they're going to need it for a 6-way ladder match. But yeah, that finishes off this show. I'm going to start booking Collision, and I'll see you guys when it's ready. Okay, and we are here. AEW Collision, and haven't seen this screen in a while because for some reason we just haven't been getting backstage incidents, which is just bizarre, but we have one. Let's see what it is. Chris Bay, let's hope it's good. Chris Bay gave the locker room a lift as he unveiled a series of spot-on impressions of some of his colleagues. Cool, didn't know you had it in you, Chris. Now he has the lively personality and is currently happy. That's good. Lively personality, awesome. We've changed venues because Puerto Rico didn't have a suitable venue for our crowd size, so we are now in the tri-state area because that's the area we haven't been in the longest. I think it's like 35 days or something, and we're at the PPL Center. So yeah, let's just jump straight into AEW Collision. Okay, here we are. So before we get into the show, some announcements for tonight's show. We have got a title defense. Mercedes Moné is defending her IWGP Women's Championship tonight against 2 of Stardom's best, I want to say. I don't know Stardom very well, but I think they're pretty best. We've got Mayu Iwatani, and I've learnt to say her name, Azumi. So AZM, it's Azumi. That's how it's pronounced. Just a bit of education for you guys, because embarrassingly, back at Forbidden Door, I said AZM because I haven't seen her before, but I've seen a couple of her matches since. It's Azumi, that's how it's pronounced. So she's defending her title in a 3-way match, and we also have Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega in tag team action in the main event. Very exciting. But first, we got the pre-show matches. So in a decent pre-show match, Swerve Strickland gets the win on Kyle Fletcher. We had Mark Davis in singles action earlier, and now we've got Kyle Fletcher today. Both doing pretty well. 61 rated match, Swerve with a 63 and Kyle with a 57. Swerve, of course, will be in the Elite versus the New Wave match. The oh no, I've forgotten what it's called. What's it called? I've got it written down. Give me a sec. My mind has gone blank. It is called Of course, it's gone silent. Hold on. Lethal Lockdown. I knew it was lethal something. It's weird because Lockdown's probably the easier part to remember. Either way, Lethal Lockdown. God, I'd be terrible. This is why I need notes. 61, awesome. Let's move on. Nyla Rose in pre-show action. She is obviously our TBS champion, but she's getting a little bit rusty, so she wanted a match, and she got one against Layla Hirsch and basically destroyed her and made a tap with the camel clutch. Nyla with a 58 and Layla with a 42. 52 overall. Nice. I believe that's our only pre-show matches, so let's head straight into the main show. Yes. And our opening match is FTR defeating the Guns, getting a nice win under their belt for their tag team championship match at All Out. Dax with a 72, Cash with a 67, and the Guns floating around the 40s. Fair enough. They've all got great chemistry, got the show off to a strong start. You love to see it. Following this, though, we have got an 81, nice. The New Wave come out and just cut a cocky little promo. They talk trash on the Elite for a second or two, but tonight's not about the Elite. Tonight is about Mercedes Moné extending her defense of the IWGP Women's Championship against 2 nobodies. Obviously, they're not nobodies, but the New Wave are cocky as balls. So yeah, Ricky Starks, great on the mic. I think he's the mouthpiece of this group. Daniel Garcia is, the workhorse in the ring. Swerve's the kind of, outcast renegade. And Moné is like the face of the group. I think that's a great little collection we've got here. 81. But yeah, let's get straight into Mercedes Moné, Mayu Iwatani, and Azumi. Let's go. Oh, 61. To be fair, I wasn't expecting too much because both of these women don't have the best stats or popularity in America. But in a decent match, Mayu Iwatani defeats Mercedes Moné and Azumi in 11:26 when Mayu Iwatani pinned Azumi. So Mercedes Moné wasn't even involved in the pinfall with a diving double foot stomp. During the match though, Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks and the Elite attacked Moné. So, I mean, as Moné was getting ready for one of her big moves, I like to imagine that they ran through the crowd and just double super kicked her because, you know, if she wants to fight with the guys, she's going to get fought with the guys. So she was probably taken straight out of the match, leaving Mayu Iwatani to take advantage and defeat Azumi. So Mayu Iwatani is our new IWGP Women's Champion, and she takes that belt back to Stardom with her. So Moné, if she wants to fight Iwatani for that belt, she's more than welcome to, but she's going to have to do it on Stardom's turf. 61 rating, not the best. Moné with a 73, Azumi with a 46, Iwatani with a 71. Well, this probably could have been better as a one-on-one, take Azumi out, but either way, it happened. Azumi's got a stale gimmick as well, apparently. That's not something we can control. But yeah, Mercedes Moné has lost her belt like a week before All Out. She is now beltless, thanks to the Young Bucks, who just super kicked and then they pegged it. But yeah, not a great start for the New Wave. Moving on though, we have a video package just going through the Darby Allin Sting story, which I think is probably our longest running story since day one. Former best friends, you know, mentor and protege, both kind of teaming up because they wanted to take out MJF and they couldn't. I think frustration grew between them. They were making mistakes, MJF taking full advantage of those mistakes, and those mistakes kind of turned into bitterness and hatred. And it seems like they're both, Darby Allin maybe more so than Sting, but Darby Allin like very frustrated and annoyed by Sting, and I think he just wants Sting gone, which is why the stipulation has been added to that if Sting loses, he must retire from professional wrestling. So yeah, Sting has a lot to lose in this match. Darby not so much, but I think he just wants to beat up Sting. So yeah, nice little movie package there. 70, that'll do. Nice. Following this though, we have got some trios action. It's Bullet Club Gold, Keith Lee, Juice and Chris Bay. Jay White's got the night off, against the best friends of Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta. So 66 rated match. Bullet Club Gold get the win. So Chucky T and Trent, unlike the other tag teams involved in that title match, they cannot build that momentum. They suffered a loss instead. In 10 minutes and 3 seconds when Keith Lee pins Trent with the Spirit Bomb. Looking at the ratings, Orange Cassidy led the line, Keith Lee shortly behind, and then Chuck, Trent and the other two members of Bullet Club Gold. Got the crowd buzzing though. That's nice. Post-match though, Keith Lee, Juice Robinson, Chris Bay, middle of the ring, doing their little Bullet Club symbols, slapping each other's bums when big bad Jordan Omos's music hits and he comes out on his own. No CM Punk. He walks out, grabs Chris Bay, chucks him out the ring. Juice tries his best. He gets thrown out on the ring. Keith Lee stands up to Jordan Omos and they square up to each other. Obviously Keith Lee having to look up and Omos having to look down on Lee. And Omos just pulls a mic out of his back pocket and just says, "All out." And, you know, unless you don't speak Omos, that's his way of saying, Keith Lee, you and me, all out, let's do this. Because, you know, it's not just CM Punk that has beef with Bullet Club Gold. Omos was robbed of a title opportunity too. And Keith Lee just stands there, looks up at him and just nods and is like, you know, mouthing some things to him that we can't hear. So I guess this is another official match. Keith Lee, Jordan Omos, Battle of the Big Boys. That should be a tasty one. But yeah, look, big match in size, really. You know, Keith Lee's a huge guy. He's very menacing. But Jordan Omos, 7'3", however many pounds he is like a different kind of beast. Following this match, though, we have a little backstage interview. I don't know why it's just... I was meant to do off-screen for Swerve as well. Pretend he's not there. Don Callis is just cutting a promo on the New Wave, just being like, good on the Bucks for screwing over Mercedes. Like, she's a... You know, she needs to be taught a lesson, blah, blah. She wants to hang with the boys. She's going to get super kicked more than once. And then he kind of just reels off about how the New Wave have no respect. You know, they're a little bit wet behind the ears, so they've got all this cocky attitude behind them, but they're going to get put in their place next week, especially in a cage. There's going to be nowhere for them to run or hide. They're going to have to face Kenny Omega, you know, one of the best wrestlers in the world, Kota Ibushi, one of the best wrestlers in the world, and Matt and Nick Jackson, the best tag team in the world. So yeah, Don Callis really hyping this up. 64 rating isn't great. I don't know what Don Callis' deal is. Like, his mic skills are good, but he just doesn't get the ratings. It's weird. Either way, it's happening. Swerve was just stood there, apparently. Moving on, though, we have got some singles action. It's Adam Cole and Samoa Joe, two people who I found out are incredibly underwhelming in the ring. So in a decent match, Samoa Joe defeats Adam Cole. This would be such a good match in real life. By submission in 24 minutes. This match got the crowd buzzing, though. Adam Cole got a 64, Joe with a 58. And post-match, Samoa Joe grabs the mic. I think you know what's coming, guys. He yells out, he's like, Rami! He's like, no one embarrasses me and gets away with it. And just as he's about to continue his rant, Rami Sebei's music hits. He comes down to the ring and he just says, Joe, you don't need to say a single word. I know exactly where you're going with this. And yes, I accept. All out, you and me, one-on-one. Not just any regular match, because, you know, we've already had a bit of a back and forth. You've jumped me one too many times. So we're just going to make this official. It's a street fight, and I'm going to knock your ass to the curb. So, yeah, Rami, you know, showing a bit of balls here, clearly not stepping down when it comes to Samoa Joe, like many people would. And, yeah, did a great deal. Great job here, 75. Lovely. So that's official as well. Another match added to All Out. This is a stacked card. We have got Rami Sebei, Samoa Joe, the grudge match. And when you think about it, you know, Rami wanting revenge after being attacked by Samoa Joe. And it's a street fight nonetheless. So this is going to be chaos. I would not want to be Rami or Samoa Joe, really. So I'm glad I'm neither of them. But that does not end our show yet, because we have got our main event. It is the reunited Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi facing off against a makeshift but really exciting looking team of El Hijo del Vikingo, who makes his AEW debut in my save, and Matt Sydal, the man who's incredibly good at flying in the air. So in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Ibushi and Omega defeat El Hijo del Vikingo and Matt Sydal when Kota Ibushi defeats Matt Sydal with his Kamigoi. Kenny Omega carried the match, obviously. 81 rating, very good. Kota was off his game and still did pretty well. Actually, no, he didn't. He got a 57. That sucks. But yeah, Kenny with an 88, carrying to an 81. Vikingo debuted his Viking gimmick. Who'd have thought that? And Kota and Kenny have great chemistry. Of course they do. Of course they're the Golden Lovers. Yeah, great win for them, building that momentum heading into AEW All Out, and we're going to see that beautiful tag team action alongside the elite Young Bucks tag team action, and yeah, it's going to be exciting. But that does finish our show. Let's see how we do. 77, decent, you know, not the best. I think these matches and these cards, we're just trying to round off everything before we get to All Out. Like, we don't want to leave any cards off the table, do we? But yeah, great show again. Mercedes Moné has lost her IWGP Women's title. Bullet Club Gold winning, and Omos and Keith Lee, that's going to be a tasty one. Maybe not in game because their stats aren't the best, but in real life, oh, that'd be exciting. And then the other news is Joe and Rami finally get that face-to-face one-on-one in a street fight. So yeah, super exciting. All Out's looking to be unreal. I'm not too sure how I'm going to fit this all on one card, so we might have to pre-show it. There was a part of me that wanted to do a night 1 and night 2, but I despise those night 1 and night 2s. It kind of upsets me that New Japan and WWE do them, but you know, when you've got a card this stacked, I kind of get it. But I'm going to try and fit it all on one card. We'll see. But yeah, that's the end of this one, guys. One more episode after this, and then we are all out. I'm very excited. I hope you guys are too. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye. Yeah.